Here in New South Wales, we've almost reached the halfway point in Greater Sydney's lockdown, but health officials say it's just too early to tell if it'll be extended. Another 31 infections have been discovered. That's the highest number since these rules came into place. There were 4 mystery cases today compared to 7 yesterday. Almost half of the most recent group to test positive were out and about while they were infectious. Authorities are hoping those figures come down early next week when the data catches up with the impact of the restrictions. One bright spot, the state has smashed its previous testing record. More than 73,000 swabs were taken yesterday. But police say too many people are still doing the wrong thing.
A critical stage in the state's fight against COVID, and this is what police don't want to see.
Stop resisting, you're under arrest.
It was a day of records. 75 people were fined for breaking the rules. A dozen are now facing court, including this 63-year-old man charged with assaulting a police officer in the Southern Highlands.
It is not on. People need to comply with the public health orders.
There are 31 new cases, almost half were infectious in the community. In total, more than 200 people have tested positive since mid-June. 3 are in intensive care.
The best chance we have for coming out of the lockdown as quickly as possible is going to be if we see a turn in those numbers.
And not these ones. More than 73,000 tests were taken. That's the most ever.
The next few days are critical because we know that what we're doing until this point in time is mopping up in the last few days leading into the lockdown.
A cloud lingers over whether the lockdown will be lifted next Friday. A clearer picture is likely to emerge early next week.
We'd really want to see over the next few days, over the weekend, this pattern emerging where fewer and fewer cases are outside of quarantine in their infectious period.
Our health system remains on high alert, with 5 nurses or aged care workers now positive. 3 hospitals and a nursing home are affected. Almost 400 patients and staff are isolating.
If you are a worker doing an essential job, that you do not turn up if you have the mildest of symptoms.
Because of the lockdown, the exposure sites are really shifting.
From cafes and restaurants and even hairdressers to a growing number of shopping centres, among them Coles Supermarket in Bondi Junction's Eastgate. This swim school in Bankstown, another hotspot. A person who didn't know they were infectious visited this vaccination hub here at Olympic Park on Tuesday. Close contacts are now isolating despite the scare. Hundreds are still lining up to get their shot. Mark Reddy, ABC News, Sydney.
The lockdown is inflicting a fair bit of financial and social pain, but charities and businesses are stepping up to help people in need. Community groups are delivering hampers, and even while pubs and restaurants deal with their own worries, they're doling out some free dishes.
Full to the brim. Plenty of non-perishables essential for a lockdown.
Well, we've got $10,000 worth of stuff here. That should make about 300 to 400 hampers.
This Sikh charity is handing out supplies for those stuck at home or unable to afford them.
Many people are worse off this year because there's no welfare payments, as there were last year when the lockdown happened. So a lot of people are struggling with basic everyday necessities.
Cafe and bar workers, especially casuals, bear much of the brunt of snap lockdowns. This pub's offering free grub and a frothy to out-of-work or underemployed hospitality workers.
It's important just to look after the hospitality workers, the people that really create the industry and make it what it is.
It's nice to have someone just scratching your back. Maybe these little acts of kindness and just empathy around people who might not be in the best conditions.
Just north of the lockdown zone, a drop in demand for veggies has led to an idea bearing fruit. This supplier is donating excess pumpkins to be made into soup that can help those in need.
I think if you're running a local business, employing local people, it's good to give back, and Newcastle's always supported us well.
Fresh pot of soup and some bread rolls to go with it. I think it's a nice little gesture.
Communities rallying.
It's about looking after the people at this vulnerable time to say, look, you're not alone.
And coming together to stick out the latest COVID blow. Tim Swanston, ABC News, Sydney.
Let's take a quick look at the situation interstate now. Queensland has extended the lockdown in Brisbane and Moreton Bay by 1 day after finding another 4 infections. They include an airport worker plus a mother and daughter who'd been in the community extensively. WA reported 1 new case, but they were already quarantining. That state is lifting its lockdowns later tonight. There's 1 new case in South Australia, the baby of an infected minor, and the Northern Territory hasn't detected any more new infections. It's now out of lockdown.